Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here in the secret bike cave somewhere in western Iowa. Look what we got today, the old Harley collection here. This is the bike we're going to look at today. This is a 1985 Harley-Davidson FXR. But take a look at that engine, something different about that, huh? Knucklehead engine. We've had this running tonight already, and this thing is ready to go down the road. This guy's been working on this for a couple years, and we're just itching for good weather. Now we're in the 40 degrees outside right now, and he doesn't like to ride till it gets in the 60s. So anyway, so what do we got? 1985 Harley-Davidson FXR. Bought that up in Minneapolis. It was an old wore-out bike, torn into little tiny pieces, tore every nut and bolt loose, every little bit, you know, and had it powder coated and rebuilt and refixed, and all new wiring harness that he made himself, by the way, and just all kinds of goodies done to it. But instead of putting the Evo engine back in it, as a matter of fact, the Evo engine is under that blue towel over yonder. He did have that rebuilt. Instead of putting that engine back in, he put this nifty Knucklehead engine in there. Now that, the whole top end part of it, from here on up, is from Ted Cycle V-Twin. Isn't that something? And the cases themselves are S&S cases, K&K cases. It's a cone motor, so it's a Knucklehead with a cone motor on it. He's got blue streak points underneath there. So it's a points engine. The transmission is now it's a 5-speed that came with the original bike, but he rebuilt it. They put the spline shaft in there instead of the keyway shaft for more strength. I think Android gears. Starter is a Prestolite starter, the stock starter. It's a stator motor now, instead of having a generator like a Knucklehead would have had. It's got a stator built in underneath here. Here's a little connection right there. Isn't that just a gorgeous thing? It's an Andrews coil, says so right there. He's got the Rivera Primo Brute 3 belt drive and clutch system underneath here. It's a dry clutch. That's really cool when it's opened up. He was talking about what he wants to get a modified case with a cover here that so you can just pull it off when you adjust your valves. Really neat, isn't it? Belt drive, of course. It's got a 16-inch tire on the back. Now, if you notice, it's got a mag on the back, and he wanted that. Now, he's got a chrome wheel on the front with spokes, chrome fender. It's got 4-inch over tubes on the front. Isn't that just gorgeous? These are from the older, let's see here, 1972 to 1981 shovelhead controls. Check that out. Got them all nice and shiny, you know, very, very good looking. All the little details, and they all work too. Nice handlebars, you know, the little cowl over here. Neutral light, oil pressure light. This is a rubber mounted speedometer. He built that system himself there. That's what he wanted. Of course, the tank, beautifully done. This was done in the place up by Marnie. They painted that for him, and the fender too. The seat is a Drag Specialty seat. Disc brake on the back, of course. Swing arm bike. The swing arm, the engine goes through the swing arms as well as the swing arm. That's all connected. When you take that bolt out, the engine and the swing arm come apart separate. The pipes are off of a shovel head. They're Paco pipes, drag pipes, and they had to modify them to make them work on these heads up through here. This is a gas box dog dish air cleaner. Now here's a really interesting part. That carburetor is a copy of an S&S Super E. Paid $40 for that, or $60 or something like that. And it so far works great. Haven't had any trouble. We've talked to several people that have them, and they have not had any trouble either. So we're going to find out. The idea was, a new one was, new S&S was something like $400. And this one was, what did I say, $40 or $60. And I thought I'd give it a try and just see what happens. You know, it's kind of like a cheap bet almost. You know, if it works good, it works good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You had all these little things, chrome, the calipers, dual disc on the fronts. Those look like 10.5-inch disc maybe. These look like they've been peened. You know, I just love all the detail. A friend of his made this for him. Kind of a neat little thing, isn't it? It's going to get bugs in its teeth. He's going to have to put sunglasses on it. 19-inch wheel on the front, by the way. Very nice, very nice. Looking at my list here to see if I missed anything. So what does he have? What does he have? Well, he has a Knucklehead engine. An FXR frame. He always wanted an FXR, but he loves Knuckleheads. Why does he love the Knuckleheads? He was 12 or 14 years old. His brother, who was about 12 years older than him, came home with a whole bunch of bike parts, threw them in the basement of the mom and dad's house, and over a period of a couple of weeks, he put it together and ended up with a Knucklehead, and that was his first bike. And that was the beginning of the addiction. So he's got this one here. I'm going to really quick show you another one over yonder. That one there, that's a 57 Hydroglide with a Knucklehead engine in it. We did a ride on that. I put about 150 miles on that bike and just loved it. Absolutely fell in love with it. Well, anyway, so that's what he's got here. And this is essentially a brand new bike. You know, every bit and piece he's handled and rebuilt and, you know, made better than new, honestly. So we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Now, we've had this running. I'll put the sound here right now. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous machine. This over here is my 1976 Sportster, the Bear. We call that the Bear. I got that from a friend of mine growing up, a friend of mine in high school. His name was Barry, and that was his bike. I got that from his widow. Now these are two, this is a shell head with a, one of these has got a swing arm, the other one has got a rigid back end. We'll pull the covers off of these someday. Those are amazing examples of motorcycles. You'll just be wowed. Quite the bike, huh? Love it. Well, y'all, it's a cool day here and it's also evening, so I'm not going to go and do any bike riding, but if it's nice for y'all to ride, get out there and ride, my friends. Life is good. Wahoo.